cake that we made yesterday.
That my mom made
That your mom made yesterday. It will
She
make
usually
it.
does most of the cooking.
But you
Just so
help,
you know.
don't you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Does Daddy help?
Not even a little.
So we found some wonderful strawberries at the market today. There were several. The ones that we liked the most were from Tomatero Farms. They had two kinds. We chose the Chandlers, which are very sweet and
And I
soft.
chose them just so you know.
He chose them, and also chose them. So when you clean strawberries, what you want to try to do is, first you want to wash them before you take off the leaves. Because if you wash them afterwards, then water will get inside and it'll get waterlogged, and you don't want that. And also, instead of just cutting the top, especially if the strawberries are all nice and red like that and ripe all the way up, I just kind of go in like that. They have a lovely smell, and it's that time of the year when strawberries are actually finally tasting like something. Typically my guidance for choosing produce is, if it's not on farmer market stands, then it's not in season, and so you shouldn't get it. So I don't shop exclusively at farmers market, but I do go by what I see on the farmers market stands. If I'm patronizing another store like Rainbow or Buy Right, I only would choose what I see on stands and what I know is from local farms. Quarters, it looks good. You could do slices. You should generally try not to have the knife go towards your skin, but away from your skin. Just a little safety tip. We also found some oro blanco at the market. Very delicious oro blanco. It's the juice we are looking for. So we're going to go like this a little bit, kind of massage it so that it relaxes it inside and the juice comes out better. This is true for every citrus. A tiny bit of brown sugar here. I won't put that much, just a little bit, because the strawberries are sweet enough, so I won't put much in there. I shall cut the oro blanco. Oro blanco is a type of grapefruit. It's sweeter than normal grapefruit. It's got this wonderful rind here that a lot of people like to candy. And yeah, its juice is much sweeter. So I squeeze about half the oro blanco in with the sugar. Look at that. I have some sparkling rosé wine that was left over from a party. I just put a little dash in it, just a tiny bit. And then I take, now the last thing I'm going to put on it is pepper. I actually think that pepper happens to bring out, when you have very good fruit, if you put a tiny bit of pepper, it really brings out the sweetness, just a tiny bit. These are fresh date. I got this from Berkeley Bowl yesterday. And look at this. See? These are what you call, see, they look like honey inside. Just cut them, slivers, put them in with the strawberries. Dates are very, very high in iron food. Very good for you. Put them in your oatmeal with almonds. And then I take a little bit of that juice that we made that had a splash of half the oro blanco, a teaspoon of sugar, teaspoon and a half, and just a dash of, I happen to use some sparkling wine I had left over. You could use rum, you could use whatever it is that you have, but it just needs a splash. And I mix it nicely. Take a couple of little plates. Take my cake, just a pound cake made with yogurt and olive oil and brown sugar. Put a slice. Then I would take the strawberry things that we made. I would try to get the juice down here and just kind of gently wet the pound cake with it, just a little bit. Pound cake is pretty moist. And then I will put the cakes on top. The strawberries on top. I guess you could say this is my version of shortcake. I don't know how to make shortcakes, so I make pound cake with olive oil instead. Finally, I would put something like ice cream or whipped cream. In this case, I will use crème fraîche because that is what I have in my fridge. And I will just kind of ladle the crème fraîche like that. Remember, it's not about pretty, it's about tasty. And this is gonna be tasty. And crème fraîche is very good for you. It has a lot of calcium. That's it. Now, if you have a good pound cake, like you could get, for example, at Sandbox up in Brno, they make this blueberry pound cake that's very good, or just a plain coffee cake. You can also do that. You don't need to make the pound cake at home. But you know, and any good fruit, I think the strawberries are particularly suited. But you could do this with some good citrus. You could do it with some, even if you have some pears, some apples, just whatever fruit you have, just do it. Some alcohol. The alcohol is going to make it all sweet and nice and mushy. Go ahead. Once for the videographer and once for the nephew.